Alright guys, welcome back to another Dokkan battle video. Before we get off with these hot takes, I want to ask you guys something. What is a hot take that you guys have? Leave it down in the comments and I will do my best to answer all of them. And I'll let you know if I agree or not. Let me go ahead and like the post because I totally forgot to. And I'm going to probably like all the ones that I agree with along the way. But LB is a person who I definitely follow and is a part of like the God Goku squad that I'm basically in. So we're gonna be making a small video on it and kind of like going over some of the takes in this, whether I agree with it or not. All right, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. They are the best summonable 8th tier any unit. Long events mean much more stacking events. When you stand by, you're literally unkillable. Then you nuke the boss and win. I've seen a couple of people like make this exact kind of like statement. The main issue that I would probably have with this is the fact that GT Duo just like I want to say they're just like better, even if we're not counting like the 5th year anniversary EZAs. I probably would obviously say that these guys are better than AGO Kaiku and Int Kid Gohan too, but yeah, Int Kid Gohan. But like, even still, I don't think they're the best summonable 8th year unit, just because this is like GT Duo. You can make the argument that they can get you killed, and they definitely can, but Z Duo just do that but faster. So for the first, like, we'll say 5 turns, right? Z-Duo can be very, very open to just practically everything. To the point where it's just like, it's so easy to get them killed, right? And it's very hard to defend them when that happens. Well, obviously, once you get to standby, then yeah, sure, they're basically unkillable for sure. But not only are they... if you take like all of the super attacks that and the damage that they're doing before they transform, it's more than than the spirit bomb. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is that like you could still get killed post standby too, right? So and then obviously they can't stack and standby for something like sort of Hope Trunks does. The main reason why I would think that the GT Duo are still better is just because not only are they better from like turn 3 to 5, right? Like just looking at it from pure defense numbers, but they also have it where they can revive, and their revive is like one of the best still. Obviously there are better ones out there. I don't even know if I would say better ones out there now. Just because, like, for AGO MUI and the Int Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, like I would still probably argue that GT2 are better in that regard, because it's like a, you know, it's a stacking kind of like Spirit Bomb finish skill rather than just like, you know, just a regular revive, right? And supporting the entire rotation and all that. But like I was saying, like I think the revive stocks just help out way too much to be able to just be like, yeah, the Z Duo are better, right? Like I think it's just like that. All right, I went to double check because I wasn't too sure on the MUI Goku and Vegeta, but yeah, Vegeta gets guard for 1 turn, and then MUI Goku gets the he gets the guaranteed dodge for 1 turn. But even still, like I was saying, I don't know if I would personally say that GT Duo have like a worse revive than them. This guy was amazing, unreleased and easily a top 30 unit who had an argument as 1. Stop with the cooler down play. He was a god and fantastic up until the Sin fight. Yes, he definitely was, because here, let me go on like that one. He definitely was, just because like the only person who could have been argued for better than him was probably like Birdq. I would say the main issue with the team of like Cooler's team and stuff like that, it was just like nobody wanted to be in slot 1, right? You wanted to run like AGL Golden Frieza, who was banned from some of the events, and then you wanted to run AGO Golden Frieza, like the LR, not the TUR, who got worse as time went on, because obviously you would get less damage reduction. And then physical Metacoolor would just be like he could be a slot 1, but then he just dies and revives. He was the revive slave, right? So like there was a lot of additions to the cooler team, and he himself was like easily either just 1 or 2 in my opinion, but it was just a team that I could not like. I couldn't like it just because, like I said, the slot 1 unit would always get worse as time went on, and the tech free to play cooler who like supported and got defense raises should have been that slot 1 in my opinion. But man, like even against like AGL Broly, he was not tanking double digits. Like he was just insanely bad. So it was his team that suffered the most. It wasn't necessarily Cooler. Cooler was still number 1. He has now lost his spot on superhero. Running him means that you lower the damage when your team is going. For the sake of team protector ability, when the team has plenty of those already. And post intro, you just float him because keeping him on rotation could get you killed. It depends. I could definitely see the argument for that, for sure. I don't think he's now like completely lost, and I don't think he's like just like, oh yeah, that's it, he's gone. It's not like he's like a bad option for sure. And then yeah, the team protector ability does have, like, everybody else kind of has that at this point, but the main thing that I would definitely say is just the backup heal. Because if you do get the backup heal and you do get the 50% damage reduction, I think that he's still cooking relatively well, because he's having over 1 million defense with 50% damage reduction, right? So, but it's definitely best to like have it like how you were saying post intro. You kind of just float him off. But I mean, like, he also helps out Beast, and Beast does like, obviously get better with Piccolo. So, something to talk about. This guy was talked about a year later. Shows how good he is. He's a nice filler option. Yeah, for sure. The links. Oh yeah. Oh, let me go ahead and like this one. The links for God Goku and just like the teams that he obviously had. Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans is always just gonna be like an insane combo for sure. It also helped that like every single like leader, or I guess I should say Power of Wishes. Power of Wishes was like buffed heavily after this guy came out too, and even before too, because like the 8th year anniversaries, like all that stuff for sure. Was never a fan of his EZA. He sucked in the hardest fight in the game and was also iffy on Omega. The community saw a big number and they freaked out over it. I want to say that I could agree with this one. I don't think the issue is that they know what they're doing when they're making these events, and they know what they're doing when they're making kind of like the units around them, right? And the main issue with this is that like they didn't give this guy any way to just be able to not die to AoEs. So when the AoEs happen and you get hit and you're like, oh wow, that hurt. This guy killed you because he has no defense before attacking. So that was definitely an issue. But when he could get his attacks off, he was definitely supporting for sure. I would just say that the main issue is that the Zamasu team, like the Tech Fusion Zamasu team, has like who is supposed to be in slot 1 changes at like every single point of the fight, right? So it truly was hard to like run this guy like consistently in like slot 2 or slot 3, right? It was just hard. He should be the baseline for TURs. No restrictions, no build up, just good since turn 1 and stays good for the rest of the fight. Yeah. In my personal opinion, I think for me, what would be better for an example of this would be STR Gamma 1, because the no build-up portion, I would 100% take the build-up portion rather than getting defense post super attack. Because the build-up portion just means that you're susceptible to damage on like turn 1, right? But the if we're looking at something like physical path, he's only really safe, quote unquote, or gets his defense when he's doing his active skill, and you can't always plan for that, obviously. But yeah, I could definitely see that like just good since turn 1. Like I could understand like the passives and stuff like that. He doesn't gap the game. There's times where Super Saiyan Blue evolution is on par or just better than Beast. Yes, Beast is 1, but there isn't a huge gap. No, just because Super Saiyan Blue evolution doesn't do what Beast Gohan does, where he just protects everybody with an active skill. Yeah, and Beast Gohan is like unkillable for the first 5 turns. And then the active skill is supposed to save him for any turn that you might be scared of afterwards. Even post super, he's like insanely good. So I think this is no. Because I would agree if I would agree if like if he didn't have the active skill. I would say the active skill just like puts this guy far better than everyone just because of it. And then obviously just a turn of the active skill and how much damage, putting him in slot 3 and then having it where he just incinerates the opponent with guaranteed crits. Yeah, his EZA was bad. Why were people guessing him up? He gets worse as the fight goes on. Just wasn't a fan. I mean, his EZA was okay. I think, in my opinion, he was just overshadowed by the physical God Goku, right? But yeah, he should have gotten like. He should have gotten better. He should have gotten something to help him out. They were number 1 until New Year's. They were better than 7th Year's, Birdcue, and Cooler. You could only argue Birdcue or Cooler above them. They were leading the best team in the game and were unkillable gods. They had aged very well. I can agree with I think I can just agree with everything. I think Birdcue was the only person at the time who I thought was arguably either on par or just slightly better, but at the same time it's hard to tell. Like it's honestly just a personal preference at that point. I liked Birdcue more, but I could also hear the argument for Vegeta and Trunks more, just because I personally like the revive more, but Vegeta and Trunks were slot 1 demigods and didn't need to get hit every single turn one time. They just needed to be in slot 1 and then they could protect that entire rotation with the active skill. Birdcue protected the entire rotation with the revive, obviously. People really tried saying this guy was good. Under a million defense, and bro has 1 turn of good damage, but he lost defense on said turn. Nothing burger of an EZA. I can't disagree or agree because we don't have him, and he's probably gonna be really okay when he does eventually. Also, just because it was the funny image of like the Goku Super Saiyan 3 putting his shoulder with the insanely huge mouth. I guess insanely huge chin. That one drawing had a chokehold on the community for a while. Bulma's still very good, but she lacks the setups. If she gets a new 200%, she's easily top 10 again for sure. I think people are kind of downplaying that Bulma was knocked out of top 10 for sure. But I think, in my personal opinion, I think she still thinks that she's top 10. But the main issue with me is just that like World Tournament Goku was her like go-to leader, and World Tournament Goku has been knocked out of top 10. So with everything that the climate that happened on JP, it's like any unit that gets, I guess, like cut off on how much defense they can get, they eventually will fall off. Just unfortunately. And this is because Tech World Tournament Goku was, like I said, her best leader. It really knocked her off. And before, when she was able to survive on like AGL Super Saiyan Blue's team, I think that not only is that team not as good as it obviously was anymore, but she needs a new leader, basically, like what the tweet was saying. Best aging 2022 TUR. Hmm. Hold on real quick. I wanna just check something. Okay, yeah. So 2022 was like a really bad period for Dokkan Fest, I would say. A lot of them just have pretty weird passives. STR Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 just worked so well. And then the Gamma 1 stocks literally shot up so much because of the LR Gamma. So that's understandable. They're back and are really good in new fights. Yep, because they don't cancel dodge. Worst Dokkan Fest LR Easy A. Dokkan Fest exclusive LR Easy A. Yeah, because I would say they weren't even that good on release. Or not good on release, sorry. They weren't, yeah, the Easy A wasn't good on release. And then just got even worse. Last year's Heroes Last year's Heroes batch is a step in the right direction. Every unit minus X Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta was good or decent. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was a monster and was the best TUR. Rose was also really good. Stop acting like the patch was bad. I definitely agree that the batch was not bad. My main issue was just that Super Saiyan 4 full power Broly, I believe was I didn't awaken him. He just really was bad. STR, I mean, like, he was okay. Yeah, he was okay. Like, because he needed orbs, but if you could get the orbs, he was fine. Rose was downplayed heavily. I think he was like number 4, maybe 7 on release, like 4 to 7. Super Saiyan Blue sucked. AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was obviously just a monster. So yeah, I'll agree with that. Did I? Yeah. Give us more villains like him. Yes, we need more villains who are really good. Skill check unit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say that they're a skill check, cause like, yeah, I don't know if I can agree with that. I wanna say yes, cause there's a lot of people who downplay Vegito, but at the same time, it's just like Vegito is all luck based. You need to leave him in slot 1 all the time, I would say. And then you have to hope on the transformation, which is, again, can be luck based. And then you have to, after he transforms into Vegeta, I would say that he's very good. But like I said, he's just mostly the thing that I always have like an issue of ranking, well, not ranking, like discussing or saying a lot of things that are good about luck-based units, except for physical Goku, and even then I always try to hold my tongue too much, is because luck works differently for everyone. These guys could be one of the worst LRs for you, and the reason why is because they could just never dodge supers. Sure, it's a 50-50 chance, but 50-50 chances work differently for everyone. For somebody like me, physical Goku dodges every single super attack every single time, and is dodging almost everything all the time for me. But somebody else could not get 6 orbs and make like a whole edit of like, whoa, they could literally take the same situation that I did where I made a 6 orb video, and they could do the exact same thing, but making a video where the video ends when Goku was able to get his 6 orbs while being in slot 1 or something like that. And they could probably get like 40 minutes too, right? Like, luck works differently for everyone, so I don't want to say it's a skill check unit, but I do think I would say it's like it's a slight, like, I don't know, I don't know how to phrase it, like, I guess a downplay check. If the people say that this guy was not like top 10 or like top 5 on release, I would say that's kind of a skill check in a way, or like a downplay check or whatever. Super Saiyan 4 is worse than Blues. I don't know. Honestly, yeah. Yeah. I want to say yes, because Super Saiyan Blues are more consistent, quote unquote. Uh, Super Saiyan 4 Goku needs to not get supered, and he needs to get hit a lot more times. Meanwhile, Vegito just needs to he just needs to have the HP restriction, right? You need like 3 things to go well for Super Saiyan 4 full power to be good. And to reach his peak. You need him to not dodge. I'm sorry. Yeah, you need him to not dodge. You need him to get hit 5 times, and then you need him to not get supered while being in slot 1. And that could all be luck based. Meanwhile, Vegito just needs to be in slot 1, and then however many defense stacks and offense stacks is entirely up to you. You just need to get HP. But they both have like the same like peak, I guess. He deserves so much more. The way he literally sucks without guard is sad, and no, he isn't taking normals post guard. Them locking his additional getting hit was stupid, because why am I running him in slot 1? Also, that cell restriction is stupid. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. 1 second, because I just want to double check something. So I've talked about this in the past, or I talked about it in the last video. So yeah, Super Vegeta literally could have like 2 line changes, and he would be like amazing. One, just delete all of this. delete all of this, and just make it where it's like launches an additional super attack. Or here we could add it to this. Plus an additional 50% attack and defense. I don't know if I want to. If you actually no, you can keep this in, because there's literally no reason why it shouldn't be. And then launches an additional super attack after getting hit for 5 turns. And then you could have it where it's just like this portion of getting an additional 50% attack and defense within the same turn after receiving an attack is only for 1 turn, right? Or make this like from 3 to 5 turns. There's no reason why he has to get hit every single time for so many times, right? It's silly, and it's dumb, and it's stupid. It's so stupid. I think there was a little bit of a misconception though, because they were saying like locking him behind getting hit was stupid, because when okay, I don't know why. Wait, them locking his additional behind getting hit was stupid. I don't. Launches an additional super attack when there's an enemy who includes cell. I didn't know that this all activated at the same time. I guess that makes sense. That's even dumber. That's even more stupid. I didn't know that's how it worked. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it worked, but I did not know that it was how it worked. And that's crazy. He still needs to get hit when it's a cell enemy. Yeah, it's stupid. It's very, very stupid. Very stupid. He's not like terrible, but he's not like, he does definitely have a lot of flaws. God Goku, no. God Goku. God Goku's right there. Nope. God Goku's right there. Cooler was always better in every way except for defense. No. Just no. The thing with Cooler was, I want to say on release, Cooler might have been better than Gohan. Just because Cooler had links and was supporting and doing attack lowers and defense lowers in a SBR type meta. But even still, I technically valued Tech Gohan better, just because of the being in slot 1 and being such a dominant like person. They both technically played the same roles. Obviously back then in Dokkan, and we even still see it today, a lot of these units get a lot of their defense post super, and Tech Gohan was not like that. He could just be in slot 1 and be perfectly fine, especially after the first or second super. Meanwhile, Cooler needed to super and fell into that demographic of, well, I need a super first before I get most of my defense, because his defense was basically lowering the enemy's attack, right? Uh, and then obviously his defense is also giving everybody else defense, but even still, I would not say that. I would still not say, because who are you still using in a fight? I guarantee no one is going to use STR core right now. No, you cannot run him in newer fights. Tech Gohan can still technically, I guess, be running newer fights, and even then, it's like here. Let me put it this way: Tech Gohan can take on the new fights better than STR core can, and that's just it's always been that way. And keep in mind, this guy got an easy A, and he's still worse than Tech Gohan. Defensively, that is. But yeah. Every 2 I released after this fight sucked in it and never had time to shine on release. Thank God for the 90th anniversary content. Yeah, that's the reason why I have been making it where I just run the previous stage, because it's literally basically the same fight, but just like it's like the light version, right? It's like the diet version of this fight, because there's no AoEs, but you still get sealed in the second phase, so no matter what, the fights suck. I don't like when the enemies debuff me. I get angry. Why do that? But yeah, I understand if you don't like the fight, and I don't like the fight either. Overhated. Yes, he wasn't exactly amazing, but he wasn't as bad as some people made out to be. Main issue is the fact that, one, he didn't transform. Even though you can look at like almost every single one of the oh, that is a hot take on the next one. We'll get to that. You can look at almost all of the transforming like units, and I guarantee you that almost all of them are gonna look at it like the same as like Physical Ultimate Gohan and Tech Piccolo, where, well, Tech Piccolo is different because he could actually transform, but Physical Ultimate Gohan had it where like the art would show whatever the unit would look like post transformation, and they just didn't do it. They didn't give the post transformation. So that, it was kind of funny though, you know, seeing that whole debacle go down. But I don't know. One of the things that I just personally had a very big issue with is that obviously it was just the key. The key was always bad with this guy, and it would make it very, very hard to showcase him. And then also Tech Pickle was just so much better, like in every aspect, that was also the reason why, is because Physical Ultimate Gohan was easily supposed to be the one who was more hype in my opinion, and Tech Piccolo was better, because obviously the main character of the movie, Gohan, was worse than the second main character, Piccolo. So I don't know if I would say, I actually no, you know, I will say he was a little bit overhated, because he did still relatively, actually no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna actually take that back. I'm sorry. The other issue that I had was that he didn't work well in the fights that came out for him. So that's the only reason why I would say that that the hate was very much warranted, just because like Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 destroyed this guy. The fight destroyed this guy, because by the time you lose your guard, Gamma 1 is supering you and you die. That's kind of it, right? Just because his defense was bad. And then obviously the fusions, Zamasu fight and all those fights did help this guy out, but it was very, very apparent that this guy was just not. He's just not what he was supposed to be on release. No, because Physical Ultimate Gohan Physical Ultimate Gohan, Physical Sword Hope Trunks exists. So no, I'm just curious. What did other people say? I'm assuming it's gonna be like bait. Yeah, it's easily Trunks. Hope we never get another passive domain unit. That makes sense. Yeah, if you want to say that it's a domain thing, then sure. I'm pretty sure they're talking about. Pretty sure they're talking about from the same celebration. Yeah, from 2023. Worst take so far. He's actually top 3 on global. Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense. The best worldwide. Now you're just baiting. You can't say Future Gohan was worse than Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. You're just baiting at that point. Come on. Come on. Yeah. That guy's right there. No, I'm wrong image part 2. I don't even know if no, Sword of Hope is not. Take Tex and Masu is better, but they are the second best to me. Yeah, like Vegito is good, but he's just not. Yeah. I don't care how much you love the seventh inning. Red Zone invalidated every, or if not most of the units in our box, and made us only use one team to try and beat. Probably one of the worst times for Dokkan. No. If you want to talk about the worst times for Dokkan, it's when Global had it where you couldn't play any event. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. That obviously it's talking about like obvious content period. Even still, I would say no, because it got us to think a lot outside the box. And not only that, but a lot of the units that EZA'd during the celebration were good enough to run for in a lot of these events that we were supposed to beat. The only thing that really sucked was the missions. The missions were so bad. Like I remember just attempting every single day trying to beat the Omega mission in a certain amount of turns. It was so bad. But like the 4th year anniversary duo, the 4th year anniversary LRs that got an EZA were pretty good. They needed to be a little bit better, but they were still pretty good. Who else was it? Tech Super Saiyan God Goku was amazing, and literally all of the movie hero fights, except for the ones that didn't have you fight the movie boss at the start, but literally everything else was perfect. So they sure, even if they did invalidate 99% of the units, I'm still mostly fine with it, just because of the fact that they just gave us so much units both during the celebration and after it, especially with like Ginyu Force and stuff. He, along with Path to Power and Gammas, is one of the best TURs from 2022. When Vegeta and Trunks was his best friend, he was a top TUR until Path to Power and Gammas dropped. Even pre-Vegeta and Trunks, he was a #1 TUR. He aged very well. I don't even know if I would say he was the #1 TUR with pre-Vegeta and Trunks, because there was no good Trunks unit at the time, and he really did need that to like be insanely well, right? But I'll like it because he did really age one of the best. I agree with most of this. It's probably not the Vegeta and Trunks thing. This celebration sucked outside of God Goku and his banner unit. Yes, because like almost all of the EZAs were unusable. I think the only one that was like decent was like STR God Goku, who can get as much defense as like it's post intro Tech Piccolo. He like STR God Goku just was insane for no reason. But yeah, literally the entire other celebration did suck in terms of like content, and also the what was it? The EZA units. Like they all were just so bad. Second best NELer. I can't comment on it because I need to use the any units for myself. Nah. These two should be what other free-to-play LRs wants to be. Yeah. I would say another good addition here was version Z Goku. He was like ran on almost every single team when he released. His defense would still obviously get him killed, but the amount of support that he was giving, the fact that he was, I guess, I don't know if I would say he was made for Red Zone, but he did have like a pretty decent passive because he wanted to fight extreme class units, and the game was almost all extreme class, right? Like I'm really excited for like version Z Goku's EZA, for example. Who knows if they're gonna do it during this Goku Gohan and Goten Day? But yeah, that and Master Roshi, both of them are like insane on release. I don't know if I would say Trunks and Broly, just because I feel like the others were very big staples. I don't know if I would say Broly and Trunks are staples, but I'll let them slide because they are pretty decent. They are what the other free-to-play LRs would wants to be. And remember, these are like, well, let me take that back. I was gonna say that both of them, but no, it's only Trunks and Broly. Master Roshi was easy to unrelease, unfortunately, but like Trunks and Broly don't have their Easy A yet. But who knows what they're gonna do post Easy A? Their damage reduction can make them entirely insane. But yeah, let's see how many just right ones we could say, or not right ones. How many I agree with? So one, again, we're not gonna count this because I haven't done any, but I'd probably say that you know, I'll leave a like because I could probably you could probably make the argument for it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wait. I'm pretty sure I agreed with this. So I said 13, 14, so I'll count this one too. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so I out of 30 hot takes, I liked 13 of them. I agreed with at least 13 of them. So not 13, what? 19. I agreed with 19 of them. I'm pretty sure I said 19. Or count to 19, yeah. So yeah, not bad. I mean, that's the thing with hot takes is after like the first one, after making like the first 10, I always run out of ideas of what to say. Which is why I usually don't do this. Because there's just no way. But other than that, let me know how many of you guys agreed with. I'll link the tweet if you guys do want to check out LB, or if you would like to see the hot takes for yourself. They're probably going to be updated, so who knows. But hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you as always, Will, for being a member, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.